as we move on to
The Prem, baby.
the Premier League, and Manchester United under new interim caretaker manager Michael Carrick. We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
Bet Man City 2-0. A massive game
Yes, it was.
for both
Good
teams.
on Manchester derby.
Great Manchester derby. Man City losing the chance to possibly claw at Arsenal at the top of the table.
Yeah.
Liverpool then held to a 1-1 draw with Burnley.
Yep.
Chelsea beat Brentford at home 2-0. West Ham, a massive win for them. Away at Spurs 2-1. Sunderland, another good win for them, 2-1 over Crystal Palace. Leeds beat Fulham 1-0. Arsenal unable to take advantage of the Man City loss to and drew with Nottingham Forest 0-0. Wolves and Newcastle a 0-0 draw, and Everton beat Aston Villa 1-0. Brighton and Bournemouth will play when this podcast comes out at 9 a.m.
The little seaside derby, I've learned that's called.
Yeah,
so.
Seaside Derby.
Yeah.
Two huge signings for Man City in the January transfer window. Antoine Semenyo has been done and booked, and he's already scoring for them.
Yep.
Mark Gui is supposedly signing for just £20 million. A very
Man, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be pissed.
if I was a fan of any team, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, true.
But Ruben Amorim was fired for Manchester United, as was Enzo Maresca at Chelsea. Maresca has been replaced by former Hull and Strasbourg manager Liam Rosnier.
Yep.
And Ruben Amorim has been replaced by Michael Carrick, who is contracted just to the end of the season.
Yeah.
And clearly has got off to a good start. And thankfully, you've put a table update here.
I did. I got you, mate. I've got
So,
you.
to start 2026, Arsenal are on top on 50 points, 7 points clear of second place Manchester City, and third place Aston Villa. They're both on 43 points. Liverpool are fourth on 36 points. Man United are just a point behind them on 35, and Chelsea are sixth on 34. Brentford, 7th and 30 on 33 points, equal on points with Newcastle, who are 8th, and Sunderland, who are 9th, and Everton are 10th on 32 points. And then if you go to the relegation zone and all the teams around there, Nottingham Forest on 22 points are holding 17th. West Ham are 5 points behind on 17 points and 18th. Burnley are 3 points behind them on 14 points and 19, and all the way back on 8 points is Wolves.
And can we pause it here for a second? Because I've heard all this shit about how bad Liverpool has been.
They're fourth.
Brothers, you are in a Champions League spot. You cannot complain when your team Hull and my team Leicester are fighting it out in the Championship.
I believe Hull are actually ahead of Leicester on the table.
They are, because we just lost to top of the table Coventry, who are flying in the Championship.
They are.
But honestly, you could argue from second to 14th or 15th in the Championship right now is up for grabs.
Well, Hull just beat Southampton away.
Yes.
And are currently in fifth with a game in hand.
Yeah, so it's going to be Championship is actually really interesting, to be honest.
Leicester are currently 13th.
Yeah, but Liverpool, you are in fourth. Yes, you'll probably get rid of Slot at the end of this year, or maybe earlier, which some Liverpool fans have been saying, including Liverpool fans that I know. But you are in fourth place in the Champions. Like you're in a Champions League spot, and I get you want to be high standard. We just talked about the All Blacks, but put it in some perspective, man. Come on. Come on.
But speaking, Xabi Alonso has gone from Real Madrid due to only after 6 months, mostly due to not getting along with the players, which I think is a crock of bullshit.
Yep,
He's been replaced by former Real Madrid player Alvaro Arbeloa. The Champions League does start back up on Wednesday morning, but really the only game of note is Serie A leaders Inter Milan hosting Premier League leaders Arsenal on Wednesday at 9 a.m. So that will be a banger. And we go to the African Cup of Nations.
And with that being said, there's a lot of people that Liverpool like fire Slot now, so we can get Xabi Alonso. You know,
hey,
that could work. That could work.
But Africa Cup of Nations time finished today. Senegal have won it for the second time, defeating the hosts Morocco 1-0 after extra time.
Have they won it a time before this?
They won it 2021. Morocco haven't won it since the 70s, and we're really hoping to win it for the first time on home soil after that fourth place World Cup finish. But unfortunately, they didn't. Well, fortunately, considering depending on who you talk to. Senegal were controversially disallowed a goal in the 90-plus second minute before they were controversially conceded a penalty, which was very harsh for both calls. I looked at both of them. But Brahim Diaz decided he wanted to Panenka his penalty for Morocco and missed. But before that, Senegal had actually briefly refused to play.
Yeah, they all went off the field.
The coach told them to come off the field, and play was delayed for 20 minutes. They then came back on. And
there was also a thing I did see, because was this final in Morocco?
yes.
Yeah, so there was one thing I saw, that where they were staying and where the pitch was, there was no security. And they were bombarded by probably Moroccan fans.
Yeah.
Let's be real. So there was a lot of frustration that was built up there. But honestly, karma hits you, man.
And also, I don't know if it was a ball boy or a Moroccan player was trying to steal the towel of Senegalese goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, and then when a Senegalese player took the towel away, genuinely tried to square him up. Square him up like it was his, which was ridiculous. And
Crazy.
shouldn't be a thing at all. Like, that's just trying to mentally get at, other players.
But it didn't matter.
But it did not matter, as Papa Gueye would score 4 minutes into extra time to give Senegal the win.
Yep.
Nigeria defeated Egypt on penalties in the third place playoff after it finished 0-0 to end off another AFCON.